and I met the guy that was like the owner outside the house, because it was a big piece of land. And he's like, damn, you better be careful walking out back there, man. You're going to get shot. So the way I got it is I got this deal off the MLS. I found it on the MLS. I started running, I started doing the developer's math on it, and I was like, this thing's sitting there not selling, but it's underpriced. I was like, all right, I can come in there. And, I went over there and walked the land one day. I told the realtor, and I met the guy that was like the owner outside the house, because it was a big piece of land. And he's like, damn, you better be careful walking out back there, man. You're going to get shot. And I said, because there's like a big piece of hunting land, and it was hunting season. And I was like, you're supposed to let me out there. But me and him get to talking, and he kind of likes me. And I was like, all right, I'm going to put in an offer through your realtor. And I offered her full price, and I sent her our contract. Same thing with this lady. She didn't redline a single thing. She signed it, liked the price, liked the earnest money scheme, liked everything. We signed it, got it under contract. After that, like I'm kind of like, I don't really know what to do. This is the first one I've had under contract, but I start calling some developers, like local people. We don't really have Lennar in our market, and Horton's just starting to break in, but we have one that's called Stanley Martin and H.H. Hunt. And I reached out to those guys, and they were like, all right, because those are going to be a 20 lot subdivision, maybe 23. And they were like, that's a little small for us. Do you think that you can get any of the neighbors on board? So I start writing letters. I wrote letters to all the neighbors, and a lot of them called me back. And so I kind of started piecing them together, and I got one to the side of it. So I got 5 more acres to the side, and I got another 7 acres across the road. So I was like, oh, I'm starting to get something here. I got 40 acres. And I get somebody on board that writes me a letter of intent. I got them from H.H. Hunt. H.H. Hunt referred me to a smaller developer that will do their subdivisions and sell them the finished lots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they brought me in a big room with it was like me and 6 dudes sitting around this thing. I didn't know any of them. And we're like looking at this big screen, and they're kind of, talking their terms and stuff. So I'm learning a lot. But at this point, I've never negotiated a deal on the buyer side too. So I don't really know, what to ask. I'm kind of holding my cards close to my chest too. I don't know any of these guys. I'm like, I don't know what price to tell them, blah, blah, blah. But we eventually settle on like you said, we'll let the math do negotiating. Like at the end of the day, here's what I need to get minimum, but you're going to pay me what you can pay me. We'll look at the numbers together.
That's awesome.
And they write me a letter of intent. And the next week they get out there and they do that wetland study, and they determine that of the road I initially got, or the piece I got on the initial side of the road, which was 12 acres, it was like 9 acres of it was wetlands. So, I think our market's kind of like yours. Like it rains every week here. Mm-hmm. It almost rains every day.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of wetlands. And so that project was scrapped, but I still had 7 acres on the other side. And that developer didn't want it anymore, because he said, all right, look, it's too small for me at this point. We're looking like it's going to be like 15 to 20 lots. And well, their engineer made us a sketch though, and it came out to be 13. So we've got a 13 lot subdivision on the other side of the road, but they didn't want it anymore. And they said, look, usually we charge you for this stuff, but since you worked with us here and I know you'll bring us more deals, we'll let you take this wetland study, and we'll let you take this design concept with you. That's where I was when I reached out to you a couple of weeks ago. And then I just started shopping it around again, and I found another buyer